That it is yet another attempt to delay the expeditious disposal of this matter.
Your Lordship, very briefly.
If I may, my Lord. There are matters that you have certified as urgent and that you have identified as being urgent. And I say this with a very heavy heart. My learned colleagues for the petitioners have been engaging in this dilatory tactic since yesterday. There are 2 applications before you that are certified as urgent. There are several other matters that have applications that perhaps have not been certified as urgent. Perhaps your Lordships may be kind enough to deal with those urgent applications, and these matters can be dealt with later on. The files may be here, but they are not before the court.
Yeah, your Lordship.
Can counsel on this side be heard?
Yes.
Counsel on that side appears to be taking the whole afternoon. Please.
Just speak, Mr. Mute, if you want to be heard, just speak.
My Lord, I'm asking for equity of arms. Accord time to counsel on this side to address the court.
You also just stand and speak.
Let me stand and speak, my Lord. My Lord, I think for purposes of clarity, yesterday, when we started hearing on the issue of validity of the bench, which has now been discussed by the ruling you've read, the question that we wanted was the application for the validity plus the issue to do with the recusal be heard together. The understanding of the court and ourselves was that they cannot be dealt with together. So that the second preliminary issues after the issue of the validity of the bench has been disposed of are the 3 pending. Are they 3? Actually, I know I'm about to. 3 applications for recusal. Those are preliminary issues, and they relate to the same consolidated matters that this court has given a ruling on. That is issue number 1. Issue number 2, my Lord, that is important to be noted. Yes, the consolidated file that is before you has that applications for recusal. That's what my learned colleague is emphasizing. So the second business of the court was supposed to be that one. But more importantly, my Lord, so that we do not want to hear these accusations about, oh, somebody is trying to delay this matter. We are the victim, and I reiterate that. For purposes of the petitions before you, we would like this petition heard as of yesterday. And we kept on saying yesterday, the petitions to be heard. My Lord, these rules, because it's the enforcement of the constitutions, the Mutunga rules applies. Since the Mutunga rules applies, the applications of the Mutunga rules was everybody was supposed to respond even to the petition to get the matters rolling. There have been no compliance with Mutunga rules for purposes of the respondent. So that if anybody was to be accused of any delay, it would be somebody who has not complied with the Mutunga rules. That is issue number 1. Issue number 2, my Lord, was this, that even for purposes of consolidation, the consolidated matters, some of the advocates led by my colleague, Ms. Kimotho, they were not even served with the applications that the respondents are itchy to have them disposed of. So that, my Lord, because of that mess that was created as of yesterday, and the fact that we do have now a notice talking about these matters, the truth of the matter is, unless we have a situations where some of the advocates in the 4 matters that were not there yesterday have not even been served with this notice, and I know them. So that unless now we take a fresh date without somebody waiting to say that, oh, this court must discharge orders and we have a swearing in over the weekend, the truth of the matter is we need a clear date where the court ensures everybody who ought to be before you, particularly based on these issues that has been raised courtesy of correspondence with the Chief Justice, is addressed. But somebody to pretend, oh, I want to lift the conservatory order and the other side is delaying, it is unfair. We want the petition heard, and it starts with compliance with the Mutunga rules, which there is no compliance whatsoever by the respondents. So that, my Lord, I beg you that let us not appear now to be saying, oh, somebody is playing to the gallery. Nobody is playing to the gallery. We just want to assert everybody's rights. And these rights are very easy to enforce if the Mutunga rules are going to guide these proceedings. My Lord, I beg you to have the enforcement of that.
Your Lordship, I had just wanted to highlight the content of the notice which we received.
I think we talk about the notice.
Yeah, and Your Lordship,
We want to talk about that.
Your Lordship, the question that was posed.
I will talk about that notice before you speak.
My Lord, do I have your permission to address the court?
Then even if the court wants to talk to you,
The judge is talking.
Dr. Hamima, let me address the issue.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
I apologize. Sorry. I apologize.
I think you have made it very clear in the ruling commission yesterday that the matters before this court are very important to the people of this republic. And you will appreciate that petitions are still being filed throughout Kenya. When we retired yesterday, we received several empanelment of matters of which we gave this notice. Therefore, don't think you are the only person who are in these petitions. There are also other Kenyans who are coming day in, night out. So the matters which we've set out for mention are the matters in which we have been empaneled as from yesterday. So you wait for God to give directions, then you start talking. You cannot just start talking from the air without facts. Let us mention these files first, then from there you see the directions matching, then you can make your prayers. Let's mention these files first.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Most of it.
That particular question is that we have two cohorts of petitions which are being consolidated. The first cohort was the petitions which were filed to challenge the processes both in Parliament, yes. And during that time, this bench consolidated 6 petitions, with the lead petition being 522 of 2024. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
That petition, number 522 of 2024, is the lead file in the petitions which were filed before the finalization of the matters in the Senate. Then, after the proceedings in the Senate, other petitions were filed. And with you, we consolidated all those petitions yesterday. So we have 2 running parallel petitions before the Senate proceedings and after the Senate proceedings. You will remember that petition number 522 was we listed it for mention on 29th of this month. But because of need to know, because I know there could be cross-cutting representation of these petitions, we decided just to call it because we knew that all of you will be here, so that if there's anything you want to say on those petitions, you can say it. So that's the reason why we have petition 522 here for a mention. There's nothing to be mentioned, but we say since parties are likely to be here, and some of the parties were even asking for it yesterday, so we brought it. But the other petitions we mentioned are specific petitions where we have been empaneled. And we wanted to find out the way forward, whether we can consolidate these petitions or whether they can be done separately. So these are petitions number, let's mention petition number 570 of 2024, AD Waiguru and Victor Gatia.
Yes. My Lord, yes.
They are calling.
My Lord, in this petition, this one was filed by the law firm of, I believe, MATIANG'I and it's called what? MATIANG'I, Geshoro and Company Advocates. I am aware of this petition for the simple reason that he had requested me that when it comes to the hearing, I appear alongside him.
Alongside who?
Mr. MATIANG'I Marete. My Lord, the parties are many, starting with the first respondent, I think is President Ruto. Rigathi is the second respondent, and there are others. My Lord, for purposes of this petition, it was filed on Friday, and by Judge Mamuye, referred it to the Honorable Chief Justice, and we expected it to be coming tomorrow on Thursday. My Lord, Mr. MATIANG'I was not served with this particular notice that is before you.
Actually, nobody was served. We sent out the notice in the morning today.
Yes.
We received them in the morning.
In the morning.
That's why I said that this matter is coming.
Yes.
And because the question is left to be approached, we
Yes.
mentioned them because we thought we'd find people like you waiting for them.
Waiting for them here.
Yes.
So that, my Lord, in that case, what I would ask the court, and for the additional reason that I am aware that in that matter, the notice of motion is seeking a 5-judge bench, and particularly for the reason that this is an application by the citizens of Central Kenya who says, like in the year 2013, that their rights, not just Rigathi Gachagua, would have been affected adversely by the impeachment of the Deputy President Gachagua, and therefore I would ask that this matter do come tomorrow so that the issue on that issues of empanelment and in the presence of Mr. MATIANG'I can be dealt with. Because now that it is obvious that even the direct, like the advocates who filed the case are not here, it would only be fair that there is another mention where they can also be there. Actually, we didn't even have the file. We are just looking at it from our record. But that is the position as far as 570 is concerned. It's a specific application for a 5-judge bench in that matter. Yes, my Lord.
We are beyond that. There was a request.
Yes, my Lord.
But what has been empaneled is a 5-judge bench
Yes.
comprising Justice Goda, Justice Ngwima, and Honorable Dr. Justice Freda Rigathi. So the request for a 5-judge bench, I think, so taken by bench unless he wants to appeal.
Yes. The chances of appeal are very high. for the simple reasons, my Lord, that will become apparent. I believe there must be some mechanical applications to the issues, but now that it arises specifically, that issue will be addressed, and the Chief Justice will have the relevant communications tomorrow morning, while given the nature of the issue that must be dealt with, there must be a 5-judge matter. All benches can be expanded. I believe that is the positions that we are coming from. So without saying specifically that we don't want anyone, all benches are capable of being expansion, particularly bearing in mind and this is something that a number of the clients that already we are representing, there have been repeated insinuations by our people out there, including Senior Counsel Benazir Abdullahi, that the senior bench is supposed, the three-judge bench is supposed to do this or the other. We can't help that. This is not coming from the petition.
What we'll do is on is that we'll mention this matter tomorrow.
I'll appreciate. What time, my lord?
At 9.
Most obliged.
Right? Yeah.